Okay, so we are going to talk on a very heavy topic. So if you don't want to stay tuned, I understand. And this isn't, not everyone who watches my videos is going to be like, oh, like, some people are going to be like, Katie, why are you talking about this stuff? Like, it's too much. But I just felt like maybe I needed to talk about it. Maybe just to myself. Maybe some one person needs to hear it. I don't know. I just maybe needed to get it off my chest. But we're talking about it. Here we are. Life with Katie. So we're going to talk about spiritual warfare. Lovely. I can only speak from my experiences on what it was like for me, what it is like for me. And I don't know if it's going to be a brief video or like a long video. I don't have anything written or planned. It's just all coming from my head, which is not a scary place to be. So I guess I could start from when I first heard the term spiritual warfare. I was young, under 15, maybe older than 10, but younger than 15. I don't remember the exact age, maybe 12. I was young. And I mean, if you know me, you know. I mean, you see my arms, my legs. It's not like I try to hide it anymore. It is who I am. It's a piece of me, a part of me. When I was younger, and even well into my adult life, even something that I still struggle with today, I struggled with self-mutilation. I liked to get the release from using blades on myself. And I got addicted to that at a very, very young age. And I remember the first time I had felt God, I went to God, and I remember very distinctly laying in my floor in my bedroom. Like, it was pitch black dark, and we had the TV stand right here, and then me and my sister's beds right here, and my older sister, our beds were right there, and I'm like right by the door, the TV stand, and then the little part right before the door, I'm just laying there. It's like, middle of the night. Everyone's asleep. I'm praying to God, and I have a knife in my hand. And I want to cut every part of my being wants to cut. Like, I just feel it. And if you know those urges, then I'm really sorry. But if you know, you know. It's just a thing that if you know, you know. And I was feeling them very badly, very heavily, very persistently. And I remember sobbing. I'm like, God, like I'm crying to you. I'm trying to give you my life, and like I literally have a blade in my hands, like, because I'm gonna use it on myself. Like, what is going on? Like, I felt like I need to be checked into a hospital. Like, I'm going crazy. I'm losing my damn mind. Like, I don't know how to explain this. And I go into my church the next day, and I sat down with my pastor. Little old me, scars all over her wrists. And I told her, I'm like, I feel crazy. Like, what is going on with me? Why do I'm trying to go to God. And she told me spiritual warfare. She told me it's when God's fighting for me and I'm fighting for God, and the enemy is just hitting every point he can hit. When I was younger, spiritual warfare was just strictly that in my mind. In my mind it was oh, I want to cut and I want to go to God, and I'm struggling, and that was spiritual warfare in a nutshell to me. Like, I thought, I understand, this very broad, intense subject. I'm like, little old me is just like, yeah, I get it, I got this, runs with it. And then, I went away from God a couple of times, a bunch of times. I can't really say for the first couple of times why. I mean, I think the first time I had just turned 18, I just got freedom, and I jumped in with the wrong group, and I just avoided God at all costs and just forgot what He was like and why I wanted that in the first place. I just gave it all up and started doing drugs and started drinking myself to death, and that went on for a long time. And then I'd go back to God for a little bit and then run back to what my friends were doing, to what I thought I wanted to do, and then Liv died. And I was so mad at God. I didn't hate Him, because it's hard to hate God. But I was so mad. I resented Him. I blamed Him. I started doing heavier drugs. Started drinking more and more and more and more. And then self-mutilation was, but I was still doing it and not even realizing it. I'm like, I'm better. I haven't cut in so long. Like, I'm doing so great. Meanwhile, putting a bottle of vodka in my body every day, just normal things. No. But at the time, I was so mad. I was so hurt. I didn't care. I was like anything to get away from God. And my friends, the ones I chose at the time, yeah, shot. It's like, I'm not saying drinking's bad. Like, I'm not saying drinking's gonna send you to hell or like send you away from God. Like, I've literally, heard a lot of scripture, or not, heard a lot of videos on scriptures on this, and like, drinking is not bad. Like, you can have a glass of wine or a beer. It's like, but I wasn't doing that. I was giving myself to the alcohol. I let it consume me, my everyday life, my every thought. I would go on break at work and get drunk and go back to work. I would drink at work. Like, it consumed me. And I let it. And then it took 2.5 years. And I started getting better. And I started going back to God again. And then my sister died. And I thought, you know what? F you. This is it. I'm done. Me and you are done, God. Like, this is it. You took not only my person, but now my sister person. Like, you just... I was so hurt. I felt so betrayed. And I was just talking to my best friend's mom, actually, my second mom, about how funny it is to me how spiritual warfare has changed over the years, and how it took till like literally the other day for me to be like, oh my God, I'm not going crazy, I'm being attacked. It went from self-mutilation to drugs and loss. Like, it went from me being hurt to everyone around me being hurt. It went from me, slicing myself, to pumping my body with drugs day in, day out, and to my people dying. That's not easy to deal with, and And I went back to God again. And I don't really know why I fell out this time. It happened slowly, very slowly. Just bit by bit by bit. And then finally I was so far separated I didn't want to go back because I'm ashamed. How do I go back to my church and back to my people and know they've done everything in their power to save me, and I still went back to the world? How do I look them in the eye? How do I... Would I ask for forgiveness again and again and again and again? I'm not trying to use these people. I love these people, but it's like I make the wrong decision at every turn. And I try, like, don't get me wrong, like, I try. Like yesterday, the reason I wanted to talk about spiritual warfare, and like I'm really opening up here, so don't come for me. Yesterday, I felt really alone. Like really alone. And I'm sobbing. I just want Avery, I just want Avery, I just want Avery, I just want Avery. And, you know, I turn on worship music. I read my daily devotional, which of course was about handling grief, because God. Well, God humor for you. No, I mean, he was there. He knew what I needed to read, and it was there. And I'm pouring my heart out to God, and all of a sudden I'm that 12-year-old little girl again who is praying to God and can't stop thinking about cutting herself. And then I reached out to my pastor, and she was being attacked as well. So it's just like hit after hit after hit on all sides. It was like I was down on all sides. And God did pull through. Somebody did pull through for me from the church, and I am very blessed and grateful to have them in my life. But it just, I felt so defeated, and I was like, yeah, this is... Had I not heard the term spiritual warfare in my past, last night I would have checked myself in, because it was bad. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and be like, you're not crazy. I mean, maybe you are. Sometimes you are just crazy. I am. But sometimes you are just being attacked really, really hard, really fast, really swift, and you really gotta press in, and you really gotta work on your relationship with God. And I know I'm not one to talk, but I just felt like it needed to be said, and maybe I'm saying it to myself right now too, but just go press in. As my pastor says, go in your closet, go in your prayer closet, and don't even tell anyone where you're going. Just go, just get on your knees, and it doesn't even have to be like, oh God, I beg for forgiveness. I mean, that's a good thing to do, but just talk to him like he's your friend. Like I'm talking to myself right now, you know, like I talk to God. I write to God a lot because I'm not a good talker. This will hopefully help me start opening up more, but I'm not really a talker. I don't really like to talk or pray, or I mean, I have been liking to talk this week, but like I'm a writer. I get more of my feelings across when I write them down. But I try to spend time with God. Now granted, I haven't in a while, and I feel like that's taking a toll on my mental health as well as my physical health. So yeah, today I just really encourage you to just go in and just press in and just give it to God, and just know that, one, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. I know it feels so damn dark right now. You feel like you can't get up. You feel like you can't see. You can't even feel the walls around you. It's so dark. You are just stuck in this pit. I know, because I'm right there with you. And I know all you gotta do is look up. Look towards the light. It might not be at the end of the tunnel, but it is right there with God. It's in your heart. Don't give up. Love you.